The voice as a channel of magic. Welcome back to the Soul Potential CEO podcast, season 2, where we explore the journey of living as magic. This is a daily invocation, a remembering, a spark. Each short episode is coded to unlock the part of you that already knows you're not here to perform magic, you're here to become it. So let's dive into the voice as a channel for magic. Ooh, this is something that I have been journeying with, continue to journey with. And I just have to say that for me, finding my voice has been an ongoing process. And I think part of this is that I really do love silence. I love the moments where I have the opportunity to go deep inside of my experience, explore my visions, connect to something really true for me. But when it's time for me to express that, sometimes the words don't come out the way that I want them to, or they don't sound the same when I'm sharing them with others as they did inside of my own clarity. Perhaps I feel misunderstood and that the words don't carry the weight of my sensation. Because of this, it seems to me to be such an important journey to get to the point in my life where I feel fully expressed. And there is a reason for this because the voice is a frequency carrier. Your voice doesn't just say things. It transmits the totality of your frequency. It reveals your nervous system, your intention, your memory, and your magic. When you speak, your whole field vibrates. This is why false confidence doesn't land. This is why coached scripting often feels hollow. This is why our voice can feel congested or blocked after a soul awakening, because our system is trying to integrate new signal with an old form. When your magic upgrades, your voice has to catch up. And the fear of being heard has its own flavor. It's not the fear of being judged and not the fear of being seen, but the fear of actually being heard as you are. Because what happens if others hear our soul? What happens if our work moves others? What happens when your voice works the way that you know it is designed to? The fear of being heard can create a field wobble where your throat closes, your tone softens, or your clarity dissolves right at the moment of expression. I know this has happened to me more times than I can count. Many magical clients diminish their volume, trail off when speaking, or use qualifiers that apologize, like, I don't know if this makes sense, but as a safety valve for power. The more magical you become, the harder it can be to say who you are. The voice and identity collapse because identity becomes fluid. Words feel more elusive, more slippery, and language feels wholly insufficient. So you say nothing, or maybe you say too much, or you spend years refining your message while actually avoiding exposure. Your voice is a wand, but if you don't claim your spell, it ultimately casts confusion. The energetics of voice activation come down to when you truly begin to live as magic and you understand the energy of that practice, your throat becomes a portal, not just a vehicle for your thoughts, desires, and the connections that you make in the world. An energetic block around old programming and punishment for speaking your truth might be present. A physical block like shallow breathing or tamping yourself down because of difficult experiences that we've had in our lives, or perhaps emotional dysregulation might be present. A signal confusion that comes from speaking from the mind instead of your heart or what is present for you in the field might also be something that you experience. Voice work then becomes not just about articulation or saying the perfect thing or making sure that every way that you talk about yourself and explain your work is perfectly tailored for everyone to understand you. It actually is just about inner alignment. Your breath, your emotion, your clarity, and the permission that you give yourself to be fully expressed. The voice as a currency of transmission in your business is the bridge. It's how your magic becomes saleable, connectable, heard by others. It's how people feel your world before they buy. And if your voice is muted, then your business and your sales will be too. If your voice is constricted, your magic will feel confusing to yourself and others. And so there are many practices and places to look when it's time to expand our relationship with our voice. We have to look at what are the truths that you never let your voice say out loud. This is the biggest place to look. There are so many truths that we keep quiet in the presence of others, for peace, for ease, for hiding, for making life easier in many ways. But the reality of this is that it doesn't make it easier for us. And the practice that you can train yourself or start to expand into is saying the things that you know that you need to say out loud. Say them to yourself in the mirror, even if you can't say them to others. And look at, when do you feel the most powerful when you're speaking? Is there a part of your essence that is afraid that it will be too much if you use your voice fully? And what do you use your voice for? Are you expressing to perform, to protect, to prove, or to connect? Do you believe in the truth of what you have to share? Because this is something that almost all of my clients struggle with. And as I shared, so have I. Your voice, your literal voice, the one that tries to say who you are, what you do, what you see, what you know, is one of the first places that magic gets choked. And I want to offer you this truth. It's not just about what you do or what you say, but it's really about who you are becoming. Not louder, not perfectly packaged, just you, tuned, present, and unmistakable. If this transmission moves something inside of you, I want to invite you to take the next step and join us inside the Guild, my private society for soul first entrepreneurs and energy informed creators. Because remember, you are not here to whisper, you're here to ripple. So let's walk the path of voice as magic together.